So this image was recently released, and they're saying that this is what the new Hellcat 707 horsepower powered 6.2 liter supercharged Jeep is going to look like. Now, I think that you probably won't even see these things for at least a year. And I think part of the reason why this image was brought out was because of the New York International Auto Show. It seems like they're releasing a couple of new car info like right now, like the Honda Civic hatchback. But basically, just looking at this picture, you can tell a lot about what the Hellcat's going to be like, because this really does look official. So basically, down here, this right here is the forward collision sensor, and it's basically a camera that watches and makes sure that, you're not approaching something too quickly. And in the bumper, you can also see that it has front parking sensors. If you look really closely, you can see the dimples for the front parking sensors, which was something that I kept complaining about, the fact that my Charger Hellcat 2016 didn't have. The way I see it, if a $50,000 Dodge Charger SRT has it, a $70,000 Charger Hellcat should have it. Here you see the intake vent. Basically, the air that goes into that vent with the Charger, if you really take a good look under your hood, if you own a Hellcat, the air that goes in here gets forced in and forced down over the supercharger, and it follows the grooves along the supercharger, and that helps to cool the thing down, since that thing runs very hot. A regular supercharger is going to run hot anyway, but you're talking about stuff that was done in somebody's backyard or somebody's backyard shop or whatever. This thing is well tuned, and it has two different cooling systems that are extremely efficient. And the whole point of the Hellcat engine is not to just deliver the power, but to do it in a safe way where the engine's going to stay reliable for a long period of time. So cooling is a big deal. Now, unlike most of the other SRT products, the Jeep is not going to be so fast that it actually has to worry about things like, spoilers and stuff. You're not going to need much of that on a Jeep, because it's already like a 5,000 plus pound truck. So as far as cooling and air maintenance goes, all of this frontal area here, all of it's going to suck in that air, and it's going to keep that supercharger cool. Meanwhile, if you had a Dodge Charger Hellcat or a Dodge Challenger Hellcat, these areas right here, those do not simply remove the excess heat. These are also what's called a negative pressure vent. Negative pressure vents take the air into the front of the car, and then they force the air over to cool the engine, and as it cools the engine, it removes heat. But also what it does is it pushes that air out it creates an area of low pressure, area high pressure, so that it actually forces the hood to point downwards. Like, say you're on the track, or say you're doing like 200 miles an hour on a straightaway. Or basically that's what it does. It's a negative pressure vent. This right here is for cooling. The front area right here is all nothing but cooling. Bottom area is cooling. And the air, if you've ever taken an SRT apart, and I've done this before because I upgraded brakes, this area down here is the air dam right here, right here. The air dam forces air towards the Brembo braking system, which, it's more than 15 inches on these cars, and it cools the brakes from the inside out and from the outside in. So there's a lot of design that actually goes into this. But I got into an argument before with somebody online who didn't even own one of these cars. Now, mind you, I've owned 6 of these cars at this point, so I know what I'm talking about, because, I actually get in there and talk with the engineers, and I actually talk with these people on Twitter every now and then about specific aspects of these cars. So at this point, considering I'm on a Jeep and a Hellcat, and I'm on like my 6th product, I consider myself an authority on it. But anyway, yes, these are negative pressure vents as well as heat extraction. So this is the air intake. But what I don't see on this hood, which is probably blocked by the angle that this picture is taken, I don't actually see those negative pressure vent heat extractors there. So if this photo is legit, which I'm really thinking it actually is, then that means that this Jeep is going to be more fully featured than the Charger is. And it's going to eliminate some of the problems that I've had with the Charger not having things that you absolutely need, like forward collision avoidance. You really, really need that when you're driving in a car that goes that quickly and can sneak right up on people's blind spots. As you know, this is what the stick shifter looks like on the current monostatic 8-speed transmission. Some people complain that it's not rugged enough for Jeep users who are traditional Jeep buyers. The new stick is taken directly out of the other cars such as the Cherokee. And what you'll also notice is it includes an SRT button, and it includes a direct access button for the SRT functions such as the custom mode. So that means that the Hellcat will most likely have the custom mode just like the Charger does, except it won't be a button on the front panel. It'll be right there on the stick shifter where it's easier to get to. Okay, so this is 0 to 60. And that's 60. So basically, even without the sport mode setting, or even without launch control, you can easily get a 0 to 60 pretty simply. So let's try this again. Yeah, I'm stopping in the middle, but there's like nobody behind me, so don't worry, I'm okay. Okay, that's 0. And that's 60. Actually, it was 62. So as you can see, Jeep SRTs, as they are, will easily do 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds, a reasonable 4 seconds. Now, why would you want to get the Hellcat engine? Well, the reason why is obviously for the sound, because between 0 and 30, you're listening to a supercharger whining. I gotta take the window down because otherwise you can't hear that beautiful whine. Jesus Christ. See, P90D, Tesla, y'all can love it all you want. P90D don't sound like that. It just don't sound like that. It don't sound like that. And the sounds that these things make, the question is that sound worth lopping another $20,000 onto the price of entry? So as you can see right here, you know, anybody who knows how these cars work, you know that there's a sport mode, there's a track mode. When you put it into track mode, it disables the electronic stability control. So you see that little yellow car picture go on, and that means that you better be careful, otherwise you're gonna slide into somebody, because what it does is it changes the amount of torque distribution between the wheels. So what you want to do is you want to slide into sport mode if you want to speed on the highway while sticking to 8th gear, or you can slide into auto mode for pretty much any driving situation. Now, I usually keep it in auto mode for another reason. Down here is the economy button. The economy button helps the car try to stay in higher gears in order to make it so that you'll get higher gas mileage. So basically the way it works is, when you're in economy mode, the car wants to stick to drive 2 rather than drive 1. So let's just look at that for a second. If the car is in drive 2 and I turn off economy, it will go to drive 1. And it'll stay in drive 1. You can probably see it right now. Now, as I'm driving, you see it go to drive 2, and then drive 3, and then drive 4, and ultimately drive 5. But that economy button is designed to try to keep this car in higher gears with the 8-speed transmission. So the new Jeep Trackhawk includes the new shifter, which gets rid of this electronic monostat shifter. And basically they have a slightly redesigned instrument panel right here in this area, and then on top of that they have a SRT button and a custom button. Now, I've already been talking to people to wonder whether or not it's possible to change these, so people who don't feel like upgrading right away might be able to upgrade it, and they might be able to get some of those features on their current the 2014 2015s. They might be able to get that, and I'm checking to see if that conversion's possible. I'm gonna do that conversion. And, if I can, I'll even make a video to show you how to do that conversion, because I know that would be pretty good. That would test pretty well on my viewership. But other than that, I mean, the thing about it is a Hellcat Jeep, as you can see, it's like I'm already not getting very good miles per gallon. Like, they can make all the promises they want about miles per gallon, but I want you to see I'm snagging about 9.1 miles per gallon. And there's absolutely no argument about that, because the thing actually says it right there. So basically, if you got a Hellcat, one of these things, and this car weighs like 5,000 plus, you can assume that gas mileage will probably end up being somewhere around 8 or 7 miles per gallon combined. So for some people, that might be a problem. See, me personally, I buy all my gas on the gas card. I ain't worried about it. You know, I got 2 cars that are getting 8 miles to a gallon basically, or 9 miles to a gallon. So, you know, some people really don't care. It's like if you're buying a $100,000 truck, you really don't give a damn. But it will be nice just to have all those few updated features, like, you know, the shifter and the new, a couple of the new electronic infotainment systems. That would be really nice to see. But it's going to be probably about a year, possibly 2 years before those Jeep Hellcats really hit the floor. So basically, as you can see, I bought mine brand new, so I only have 1,365 miles right now. So the thing about it is the trade-in value of this is still relatively high. But, you know, I guess it'll all come down to what this thing ultimately is, because some people probably won't be willing to upgrade from one of these trucks to the next if the next car only does like 1 second better. Now granted, that thing will probably be able to go up to 200 miles per hour or something crazy like that. So that would, you know, for some people who live out in Mexico or the salt flats, that might make it, you know, appealing to them. But you know, most people, especially people who live here in New York City, as you saw in my Hellcat purchasing video, I've got people saying, man, you don't need a car like this for New York. And they're absolutely right. Because see, another thing that I like about the SRT products, other than the Hellcats, is that they come with front collision avoidance. If you start speeding up and it thinks that people are slowing down, it'll try to warn you. And it usually occurs. It'll try to warn you that somebody's slowing down in front of you, and it'll beep and it'll flash and it'll tell you to slow down and stop. Also, if you notice on the Hellcat Charger, it doesn't have these buttons for adaptive cruise control. So the way I see it is, how can you build a $55,000 car that has all of these features, and then you build one that's $70,000 and a feature that you absolutely really should have, like forward collision detection, you don't have? Because the thing about it is, cars this fast speed right up to people and get right up into their blind spots. And if they slow down really quickly or you're not paying perfect attention, you're getting in an accident. And that's something you just don't want. You don't want to get into an accident. So the forward collision needs to be on any Hellcat. Now, the Jeep, as far as I can see, looks like it's going to have that. But as far as I'm concerned, all of these cars need it. I mean, if you don't have that forward collision, you know, you're cruising for a bruise. The last thing I'm going to say before signing off is that the New York International Auto Show is coming here this weekend, Friday and Saturday. And it's going to be here till April 3rd. I'm going to get there as soon as possible because I'm really interested in seeing the CT6, the XT5, and, you know, any of the concepts that I haven't been paying attention to, because frankly, I haven't really paid any attention to the auto blogging and all that. I haven't looked at Auto Spies. I'm going to just go there and see it for myself, and obviously I'll be making my own video and adding my commentary to it. So for the 1,300 subscribers that I added last month, I'd just like to invite you to join me. What I may even try doing is I may try to do a live show on my Facebook, but somehow I don't think that's going to happen because I don't know if the networks there will be good enough to do it. So definitely tune in this Saturday and you'll see my video for the International Auto Show. And I'm going to try to hit the newest vehicles first, but definitely I'm going to be there, you know, providing my own brand of commentary that so many people who actually view my channel love me for.